Hi everyone, it's Sunflower Spirit here, and I'm here to do your Tenacious Tuesday reading. I hope you're having a good day. Hope you're having a good week so far. So let's see what messages we have. This is about balancing lifestyle. So what messages do we have for balancing lifestyle for general collective? So let's see. Messages do we have for balancing lifestyle, please? So I'll take a focus card and then I'll take two options, and just keep in mind that these are two out of an infinite number of options. So what is a focus for balancing lifestyle, please? Show me what the focus is for balancing lifestyle. We have the Four of Cups and the Eight of Wands. All right, so that's the focus. And what is our first option, please? So the Four of Cups talks about, not being fulfilled in your situation, kind of feeling maybe like bored, maybe feeling like things aren't going, things aren't actually, like nothing's really flowing, you're not feeling it. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. You're not feeling it. And the Eight of Wands is about action. It can be about communication. It can be about like a lot of communication. It can also be about travel. So it's kind of like I'm getting a sense it's balancing that like apathy with the Four of Cups with that sort of like ambition or determination. So we have the Hierophant um, for the first option. The Hierophant is about developing your values. It's about spiritual growth and development, self-improvement. It can also be about like institutionalized things like conformity or, marriage or commitment. So let's see, what is our second option, please? What is the second option for balancing lifestyle? What is the second option for balancing lifestyle? We have strength. All right. So, so yeah, I'm seeing like kind of this, I have talked about this a few times before on this channel, but this kind of opposites. And so it's kind of, the whole thing that they talk about, like the whole human experience is kind of based on duality. And so what that really means is just that like we're kind of living in this world that recognizes like good and bad and light and dark and right and wrong, and that's kind of how we function as a society, how we function as a culture. um, and so with the Four of Cups and the Eight of Wands here, it's really interesting because you know one thing about fours is they're usually about stability, but this is kind of like having stability and not really caring. It's kind of having that apathy. And so it's interesting that we have the eight here because the eight is obviously going to be two fours. And so it's kind of like moving forward just enough to like it's like not getting the wish fulfillment, but you're like so close you can taste it kind of thing. And so it's really interesting to me that we have a four and an eight here for balancing yourself, because it's kind of, I think it's kind of like with the Four of Cups, it's kind of, saying, you know, you could like care too little. And then with the Eight of Wands, you can care so much that you might even, exhaust yourself with, taking action and stuff. And so with the Hierophant here and Strength here, this is interesting because we have, with the Hierophant, it's like, um, he's really like about, spiritual growth and development. It's like figuring out what your values are, finding your values. It's determining whether you enjoy conforming or maybe you're not really a conformist. And so it's kind of like discovering for yourself, like who you are in that sense. The strength card is about courage. It's about determination, perseverance. It can also be about vulnerability because the opposite of courage is actually vulnerability. So, so there's a lot of vulnerability. Plus, it's like if you look at this picture, and this is pretty similar to like the typical Rider Waite deck, but um, usually there's like a maiden or a woman, and then there's this like big lion. And in the typical Rider Waite, she is actually she actually has her arms wrapped around the lion. And so it's kind of having that balance between being you know, having that vulnerability and having those qualities, that we would typically think of maybe as more feminine, but also being able, she's also kind of like able to help balance out this, you know, I, I don't know what the right word is, like maybe like more aggressive or more towards that end of the spectrum lion. And so, I don't know if it's in this one, I don't see it. But in the typical Rider Waite, there's the lemniscate, which I don't know if you guys know what that is, but it's the like it looks like a sideways 8 and it's like the infinity sign. And so that's kind of like, you know, talking about balance too. Like we're talking about balance, we're talking about balancing out, all of these opposites that we have, all of these opposite qualities that we have in ourselves and kind of like living in that space between them. And I know I have talked on this before. Um, I was trying to find the Rider Waite version of that so you guys could see it. Um, so yeah, I think this is a really good. Oh, here it is. Here it is. So see, this is what I was talking about. So see, she's kind of like, she's like not afraid of this thing. She has courage. She's not afraid of this lion. And then she has the little lemniscate above her head there, which is, about balance. So it's kind of like, you could look at it as yin and yang or male and female or um, courage and vulnerability, like that takes quite a bit of courage for her to be that close to the look, her hands are like by they're right up next to his mouth. And he's, that's probably got to take him a lot of vulnerability to allow her to do that because that's not something, normally lions would do. So that's kind of like the balancing there. Um, so let's see what we have on the bottom. We have the Ace of Swords. So yeah, it's trying to, yeah, I think what it is it's like, obviously a lot of people right now, this is pretty common. I've had this card come out so many times. I think a lot of people are going through some sort of transformation, some sort of spiritual development, spiritual awakening, finding out what they really believe in, finding out who they really are, like trying to kind of ascend to their higher self. And so it's about doing this, but how we do this is we balance ourselves out, and that's what gives us the clarity. That's what gives us clarity. That's what gives us truth. That's how we live in our truth. It's about living our values. So it's like balancing it out enough so that we are okay with our values, so that we can, okay with ourselves. And then it's about living that truth. It's having that clarity and that truth. So that's beautiful. I could pull one of these energy cards. So, pull an energy oracle for you guys. So, any other messages on balance? Any other messages on balance today? All right. Magician and the Mirror. Wow, that's very interesting. Okay, so that's number 53, and I will read you guys the little affirmation. This is knowing and using your true power. So the affirmation is I have all the power I need to create the destiny I desire. Magic happens when I live in consciousness and my eternal truth. Wasn't I just talking about that? I was just talking about that with the Ace of Swords there. So hopefully that was helpful for you guys. I love this reading. It's beautiful. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. And thanks for stopping by. I will talk to you guys later.